Just
Welcome
dancing over
back.
here.
Are you jamming to the music? Well, welcome back to the Clueless Catholic Podcast. We are continuing with our Awkward Saintly Dinner Party series. And today we're talking about a saint who honestly sounds like something out of a movie. I think we have a theme going on here in the next few weeks. But he was often clumsy, misunderstood, and sometimes considered slow by people around him. But he also had a gift that defied gravity, literally. So this is a story of Saint Joseph of Cupertino. He is also known as the Flying Saint. Are you ready for this one?
No, but wait a minute. You said St. Joseph?
Saint Joseph of Cupertino.
Okay, so we learned about Joseph with the Technicolor dream coat, whatever. And then Mary's, Jesus' mother Mary was married to Joseph. So this is yet another Joseph.
This is another Joseph.
All righty then. All right.
Yes. And this Joseph, he was born in 1603 in Cupertino, Italy. His family was poor. His father had died before he was even born, and his mother struggled to raise him.
Oh.
But now Joseph wasn't like the other kids. He was sickly as a child and often distracted. And some said he had trouble paying attention. And he was known for being absent-minded. And to make matters worse, he wasn't very good at schoolwork either. This kind of reminds me of my kids when they would bring home report cards and it'd be like, great kid, but distracted. Did you have that too with your kids?
No,
Oh,
I
just my
didn't.
kids.
It's just you.
That's nice. Oh, man. All right. Well, but here's the thing. His heart was pure and he had a deep longing for God, even from a young age. While other kids might have been playing games, Joseph would wander off into prayer. And he also had a quick temper. And when things didn't go right, he would get frustrated easily. I feel like that's a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
But even in those struggles, something was forming in him, and that was humility. Because being constantly misunderstood made him rely on God more. So now imagine this. You are a young man, not great at school, clumsy, always being called useless. How in the world do you think that you'll become a priest or a religious brother?
Yeah, you don't. You wouldn't. No.
No. And the funny thing is that Joseph actually tried joining the religious life several times and he kept failing. I don't even know how you do that. but
Yeah, you fail. I don't know.
but at one point, after 8 months in the seminary that he was in, they had asked him to leave because he couldn't seem to do anything right. He broke dishes, forgot simple tasks. It was just awkward. So I can't imagine getting kicked out of seminary just because you broke too many dishes. Is that a thing?
Apparently. Never heard of it, but whatever.
I don't know if that's a thing today. Oh, we have Michael over there. Michael, is that a thing?
What?
Can you break dishes and get kicked out of seminary?
Depends on how many you break, I imagine.
Okay. There you go. There you go.
Why would he do that? Like, was he mad? Or
Clumsy.
He was just clumsy.
he was just clumsy. Well,
Yeah.
if you're clumsy, you're clumsy.
I know. Get paper plates then, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But Joseph didn't give up. Eventually, the Franciscans took him in. But though at first he was just their servant, they wanted to kind of try him out for a little bit. But this is where God turned everything upside down. So Joseph's humility and love for prayer became impossible to ignore. He was eventually accepted to study for the priesthood. Now, remember, this is a man who struggled to remember anything and who was considered slow. But when it came time for his exams, the only scripture passage that he knew well was the one about the fig tree in the Gospel of Luke. And wouldn't you know it? That's the exact passage the examiner asked him to explain. And he passed.
Wow.
So By what seemed like a miracle, Joseph became a priest in 1628. To talk about a miracle, if that were me and they would ask me the one thing, it'd be the one thing I couldn't remember, right?
Right.
He remembered this gospel, so that's pretty cool. So I did have to look up the passage because I was not familiar. Are you familiar with the fig tree?
I don't remember it. No, off the top of my head, I don't.
So this was it was often called, it was Luke 13, 6 through 9. And it was often called the parable of the barren fig tree. And this is where Jesus tells a parable about a man who had a fig tree planted in his vineyard. And he came looking for fruit on it for 3 years, but found no fruit on the tree. And the owner told the gardener to cut it down. Why should that take up all my soil? Cut that tree down. But the gardener replied, Sir, leave it alone for 1 more year. I'll dig around it and fertilize it. If it bears fruit next year, fine. If not, I'll cut it down. So the story was more about patience, mercy, and the chance to repent. And God gives us time to grow and bear fruits, even if at first we seem barren.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to explain all that.
Wow. Good.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So now this is where things get a little crazy. So
Okay.
Joseph started experiencing moments of ecstasy during prayer at Mass. And these weren't quiet little spiritual highs. He would literally levitate off the ground, like
fly, float in the air.
out in the air.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if that happened at Mass today?
No.
I think people would be taking out their phones and be like, "Oh, look at Father! He's levitating."
Yep. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So eyewitnesses described him rising off the ground during Mass, sometimes floating towards the altar or the crucifix. And once, while he was processing with the statue of the Virgin Mary, Joseph suddenly lifted into the air in front of everyone.
Huh.
I think if the choir were singing at that time, they probably would have stopped mid-song and would be like, what do we do now?
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, the purpose of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why?
I think we might get to that.
Okay. Thank you.
So these events weren't rare either. I think I read that he levitated more than 70 times in his lifetime.
Oh.
And because of that, he earned the nickname the Flying Saint.
Oh, cute. That's cute. Isn't there like a show called or a movie Flying Nun?
There is. I wonder if she had the same experience.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
Gonna have to go look that up now.
Yeah.
Michael's rolling his eyes.
Of course.
So I think in today's world, I think this would have made headlines like everywhere. But back then, it made people suspicious. Some thought it was a trick. Others thought maybe it was the devil's work. But over time, the church investigated and confirmed these events as genuine mystical experience. So, because of his levitations caused such a stir, the church actually restricted him. He wasn't allowed to celebrate Mass publicly for years.
Oh, no.
Isn't that sad?
Yes.
So instead, he lived in isolation, moving from one monastery to the other.
No, that's disappointing.
Isn't it, though? I can't imagine you would have this superpower and the church says, no, you're grounded. Like, yeah, it's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
But even though he was often alone, people still came to him for advice, prayers, and comfort. And he had this reputation for kindness. And many said his presence alone brought peace. So now that we know a little more about St. Joseph Cupertino, let's have dinner with him. I wonder if he will levitate.
We'll find
Maybe,
out.
maybe he'll teach us how to levitate. Let's find out.
Let's find out. Okay, our next guest, a very special saint.
Famous for floating. Like fly like an eagle to the sea.
Floating at a dinner table? I don't even like floating in a swimming pool.
Floating? Should I turn the ceiling fan off?
Good evening. I'm happy to be here. Let's give thanks before our meal.
Did he just...
Yep, floating saint.
I did not see this in the etiquette guide.
That was beautiful.
Oh, pardon me. I sometimes get carried away in prayer. When I feel very close to God, my spirit is lifted, and then my body follows. Yeah, it's not me, but it's the joy of God that lifts me. Would you like to try? I mean, not by floating physically, but by lifting your heart in prayer.
Or maybe just on our tiptoes?
Just a little cheat?
No, that's not the way. Physical tricks cannot lift you. It's the prayer. Truly opening your heart to God. That lifts the soul.
So, no quick shortcut. Got it.
Let us each take a moment. Close your eyes and think of someone or something to lift in prayer. Imagine your heart rising toward God as you pray.
Praying for guidance and discernment with future plans.
Praying for my kids.
I'm praying the salad stays on the table.
Please let me levitate just a little. Or not at all, actually.
Even small things, if offered with love, can lift your heart. Now, think of this person or situation, whatever it is you got. Lift them up in your heart. Feel your love and your prayer rise. See, even there, accidental movements. Your heart can still rise. Focus on God, not gravity.
I think the salad just tried to ascend on its own.
Let it rise in your heart, not on the table.
I think I'm feeling it. Kind of a spiritual lift without tiptoeing.
Thank you for sharing this moment.
When our hearts are lifted, we are closer to God. And even simple prayer becomes miraculous.
Dinner and a spiritual lift, literally and figuratively.
And no salad was harmed.
Next time, maybe outside. Less chance of flying food.
Or time to the chair. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Thank you for welcoming me and opening your hearts.
To
Lifted
lifted
hearts.
hearts.
Welcome back. Dinner was a lot of fun. Awkward, but fun. He did levitate, by the way.
You did.
So that was kind of cool. So you had asked me earlier why in the animation, it was basically like if you're so deep in prayer, like if you were to close your eyes right now and silence your mind, and you would think about like the Virgin Mary, for example, like your soul would be lifted. But for him, his whole body was lifted.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. That's
It's
really cool.
Yeah, it's precious, actually.
So now I'm wondering, like, is he the only one that's ever happened to?
That I don't know.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
What year was this?
16 in the 1600s, early 1600s.
Hmm.
Yeah. They had some crazy stuff going on.
It sure did. They had to get attention. They had to get other people's attention somehow, I guess. Since
Yeah.
they didn't have TikTok.
That's right. Exactly. So there are some fun facts that I found for Saint
Okay.
Joseph. So he is the patron saint of pilots, aviators, astronauts, and students taking exams. So basically, he covers everyone from NASA scientists to a panicked high schooler. So that was cute.
Yeah. I wish I would have known about him when I was taking my insurance exam.
Oh, there you go. Yes, you do
I
have.
passed, so I passed. But man, oh my gosh, my heart was beating so fast.
You have test anxiety, don't you? Though
I do. I have test anxiety. Yeah. So maybe if I would have known about St. Joseph Cupertino, would have calmed me down.
that's right.
I could have just levitated into the test exam place.
That would have been great. You would say you passed. You don't even have to take it.
There you go.
He was also known for his deep devotion to the Virgin Mary, often lifting into the air when her name was spoken. I just think that's lovely.
Me too. That's cool. Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. When people came to him with worries, Joseph often reminded them to love God, love God, love God. Like he would repeat that over and over again. Above all else, love God above all else. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I do too.
And one of his best known quotes is simple but powerful. It says, "Clearly, I was born for higher things." Isn't that cute? He's just so cute. I love him.
That's so awesome. Yeah, that's good.
He's
I
like one of my
that.
favorite saints now. I just love him.
Yeah, I do too. That's so awesome. I'm so glad we're doing these same things. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, so Joseph died in 1663 at the age of 60. That's a lot of sixes.
Wow. Yeah.
And people remembered him not just for his miraculous levitations, but for his humility, obedience, and childlike faith. He was canonized a saint in 1767 by Pope Clement XIII. I didn't even know we had a Pope Clement XIII. So clueless I am.
Too.
And today, I guess pilgrims still visit his shrine in Osimo, Italy. Hey, another place to visit, Terry.
I guess so. When am I going to go to the beach? I have all these other places.
We just need to go. We need to go explore.
There you go.
All right. So what can we take away from the life of St. Joseph of Cupertino? Maybe it's this. You don't have to be the smartest, strongest, or most talented person to be close to God. Joseph was clumsy, forgetful, and even laughed at. But what mattered was his love for God, his humility, and his perseverance, which is good news for somebody like me who can't even remember where I put my phone or my glasses this morning. Right?
That's me every day. Every day. I said,
Where are your
where's my
glasses?
phone? Where's my glasses? Every day.
Where's your glasses now, Terry?
But my other ones are on the computer and my other ones are in the kitchen.
You have them in various spots.
I have to have a whole bunch of them.
I'll never forget I had my glasses on my head. I'm looking all over. And they were on me the whole entire time. I think I looked for like an hour.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And
And-
heaven forbid I could ever find my phone. I don't know.
Do you have to call it all the time?
Yeah. Or I just ask me, babe, where's my phone? Babe, where's my phone? And then he calls it usually.
I love it. Oh, I think the awkwardly beautiful part of this is just, we don't have to have it all together.
Right.
It's just about letting God lift you up, and sometimes in ways that you least expect.
Yeah.
So next time you're struggling with school, work, or just feeling like you're not enough, remember St. Joseph of Cupertino. The flying saint reminds us that God, even in the most ordinary, awkward people, can soar to extraordinary heights. Thanks again for joining us today at our Awkward Saintly dinner party. If you like this episode, share it with a friend who needs a lift. Great.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Next week on the Awkward Saintly dinner party, we have a guest who faced unimaginable danger, carried his own head after martyrdom, and whose courage helped shape the faith in one of Europe's greatest cities. You won't want to miss this story of bravery, faith, and the truly extraordinary. Until then, keep learning, keep asking, and remember, he found us clueless and still calls us home.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.